I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Has Council had an opportunity to review the meeting minutes of June 21st? If so, how do you wish to proceed?
Make a motion, we approve the minutes.
Second.
Motion from Mike, second from Robin. Any discussion? Hearing none, those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Any changes to this evening's agenda? Hearing none, I'll ask for approval of set agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion from Robin, second from Rick. Those in favor may state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Guest and open forum. Seeing no one here for guest and open forum, we'll move on to committee reports. Planning Commission.
Planning Commission, we met Monday, June 27th. We had just a quick update, obviously, with our new hiring of Jacob as the Community Development Director. We had updated the Planning Commission on that. We talked about actually had a resolution as well for the 10-acre parcel, which was on our agenda for tonight. We also called for a public hearing in regards to highway maximum lot coverage. Had some discussion on that as well as far as what we hope to see as part of that public hearing. There's still some details being fleshed out on that, so we called for the public hearing. May or may not happen depending on what staff finds out there. And then we had some other updates.
All right, how about joint planning?
Joint planning met a week ago today. We reviewed a Sherburne County IUP application to continue their stockpiling and crushing operations. And we touched briefly on the review of some upcoming annexations.
All right. Administrator and staff reports. Temporary reduction of the SAC and WAC fees for residential units. Mr. Sanders.
Evening, Mayor, Council. Before you, we have a temporary reduction. So based on the discussion we've had the last month now on the 10-acre parcel, one of the things that we discussed as staff and had checked with council on and came to consensus and agreement is that we would do a temporary reduction on SAC and WAC fees through the end of 2025. So that would temporarily incentivize some more residential development in the city, which we do need. And with the 10 acres, it would really, we think, help spur some growth. So we are, the reductions are 65% per unit of SAC and WAC fees for apartments, and then it would be 20 per unit of SAC and WAC for single family units citywide. And single family also includes stuff like sometimes you'll see the side-by-sides that are right next to each other that have a garage that are still a separate unit, things like that, duplexes, other things. So staff is seeking a motion and a second approving resolution 2246 for a temporary reduction in SAC and WAC fees. The resolution is only required, we did check with legal, to get it through the end of this year, and then it would just do for the next subsequent years, the fee schedule would be amended with a note on it with the sunset date. Any questions?
It will only be effect for this year, and then what after that?
So it'd be effective immediately this year with the resolution. We don't have to do an ordinance to the fee schedule. When we do the fee schedule at the start of each year, it'll just have the same note carried on it through 2025, and then it would fall off 2026.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2246, approving temporary reduction of SAC and WAC fees for residential units.
I'll second that.
Motion from Rick, second from Mike. Any other discussion? Hearing none, those in favor may state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Property sale to Avion Homes. Mr. Sanders.
Thank you, Mayor. Before you, we have another resolution relating to the same thing. Again, the 10 acres, kind of would have been fun to have this one first, but the 10-acre parcel that we've been discussing, and again, that council came to consensus to sell for $1 to Avalon Homes. Again, it's exactly everything the council's been looking for. So what this would authorize, this resolution would authorize the city administrator and mayor to sign the purchase agreement, any closing documentations related to the sale of the property. Again, it would be anywhere from 51 to 57 units, likely 55. And the apartments, part of the purchase agreement, we just got it like 45 minutes ago. So in there are some of the contingencies that you had discussed relating to if he doesn't start, what then? There's some clawback on that where if nothing happens within a certain amount of time, the city has the right to recoup that for the same dollar. So you're not paying the same, a market fee. So, and so it really, this will be kind of reviewed by Mr. Schaumer, who's here tonight. He'll take a look at it. If you had any questions or concerns, we've taken a look at it. We only really had one minor edit to what legal had, and then we'll be able to execute that going forward. But the resolution would allow staff to continue to work with legal and Mr. Schaumer to get it signed. So we're looking for a motion in a second. There's no negative fiscal impact, good grief, that this would cause. Because again, you're not cutting a check, you're really just giving some discounts and selling the land for $1, so that the city's owned for some time. So seeking for a motion in a second, approving resolution 22-48, authorizing the purchase agreement and sale of that 10-acre property. Any questions?
Maybe just a comment, we can, the clawback clause might be new to the discussion here, but it is something we've done with other properties before. It's a pretty, we don't want to sell it and then see it sit as a vacant lot for 10 years. So it's pretty common.
So it gives them, I think in there currently it's like a year, so gives you ample time.
Yeah, it can be adjusted too, so.
Yep.
With that, if nobody else has any other questions, I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2248, the purchase or sale of the 10-acre parcel.
I'll second.
Motion from Mike, second from Becky. Any other discussion? Hearing none, those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, Council.
Approving utility easement for the Northern States Power, Mr. Knutson.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I apologize, I feel like a broken record coming up here talking about easements all the time. But they are a necessary evil of our road projects, so our utility projects. So in front of you tonight, we have a revision to the proposed easements from Xcel Energy, but land held by Northern States Power Company. So the revision is removing one parcel of land during the title search. It was discovered that they do not own or have clear title to government one lot, I believe. So after review between Xcel Energy and our legal, they removed that parcel and it's reflected in the updated easement. So we will continue the title search on that. So tonight in the resolution, I keep calling these cross-country easements because it basically takes us from the cul-de-sac or the proposed cul-de-sac by Snuffy's Landing, and it comes across the Xcel property to get us over to Energy Drive. It's all part of Project 2 of our Phase 1 business park build-out. But with that, the platting along County Road 53 is taking care of those easements, and this gets us from that, basically the lift station over there across their property, and it'll tie us into Energy Drive. We don't anticipate that there's going to be any other corrections, but tonight I would ask for a motion and approval on the resolution and allow staff to have any revisions as approved by legal, should anything else arise, so that we're covered with this resolution.
So the one property that was, that they discovered they didn't have clear title on, so did we alter the project, or what did we do to that?
Nope, it comes down as the cul-de-sac. What we think had happened is they dedicated it as road right-of-way to Sherburne County, and then it'll be given back to the city as we do that road take back. But it's a parcel that comes right in, because it's not a road right now. 53 is straight line and ends in a cul-de-sac bulb right now, but we're curving it and bringing it in. So they've already granted, Xcel has granted Sherburne County increased right-of-way around the curve by the ring property. And then it's borderline the wild and scenic and the outlot that's gonna be given to the city for the lift station over there. So that's what it appears to be. That's why it was removed out of there. But again, during title search, it come up, we're verifying the government lot 1 true ownership. So that could be revised, but that revision would come from legal, viewed by engineering. The city administrator and myself have discussed this as well. We've confirmed it both with legal and with Randy this afternoon. So we're all on the same page.
So we supposedly own it already. that what you said?
The county, it appears that the county has got it. It's granted easement for the roadway purposes as they've carved that new road coming in.
Okay. But 53, isn't that a township? Wasn't that a township road? That was a county road.
It's been a county road, so that was the termini of the county road at the cul-de-sac by the Ring property right now. And with the change of that coming down to just past Snuffy's Landing and the termination of that road coming down there, we've been working on plotting that roadway and that easement for probably 18 months right now, so.
So you need a motion to approve resolution 2247? Is that,
Yes, please.
I will make that motion for a utility easement with Northern States Power.
Second.
Motion from Mike, second from Robin. Any other discussion? Hearing none, those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thank you.
Change order number 2 for the 2021 bituminous street improvements. Mr. Knutson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. In front of you tonight, we have change order number 2. This all stems from the, basically the Vonco property, the bypass lane and the turn lanes, as it relates to the entrance to their facility. We've been working with XL Energy as the primary property owner to acquire the easements for that. Along with the project, XL has been upgrading their transmission line on the west side of the road. So we've been trying to work in a bit bigger corridor to get a construction easement so we can stockpile some of our materials on the outside of the granted easement to make it easier for construction purposes. On the northern property line of XL as it borders into the Peterson Brothers farms, we don't have enough work. If you remember, you granted a memorandum of agreement with XL Energy that we would work within the constraints of their easements under their power lines, close proximity to their poles. And working with our contractor, it just, what it did is it's really narrowed up the easement and the work that we can do. Basically, we've got to pull the topsoil out and haul it off-site in probably a 300-foot section of the road. And so we've got to move that, store it, and then bring it back and reintroduce it. What it's causing our contractor to do is bring in different equipment for this. They can't use their normal equipment because of the narrow conditions and the parameters that they have to work within. So we knew this when we got the memo of understanding. We've had 4 or 5 different meetings with Bardson and Dunnick, and we've come to this realization. The number that I'm asking for tonight wasn't our starting number. We've been able to whittle that down. And where we're all still shaking hands and in agreement that we can get the job done and do it right. So tonight I'm coming in front of you to ask for that change order number 2 in the amount of $83,640.37. It still does keep our project well under the original cost estimate of that. We first thought we were going to be in that $631,000 price tag. And if you remember back, we are still working with Vonco that we're doing a cost share on this portion of the project. So we're going to be at about $600,000 roughly for the total portion of this alternate. And of that, half of that is going to be paid by Vonco when the project's complete and wrapped up. So I anticipate this is going to be the last one. We've got verbal from the contractor that they can be there in roughly 2 weeks. We're waiting confirmation from XL Energy that they're still good with all of this. We've gotten a verbal on the phone, but we'd like an email just so we can have something to point back to so if somebody has any other questions. So if you've got any other questions, I'll do my best to answer those now. Otherwise, approval would be appreciated.
Make a motion to approve change order number 2 for the 2021 bituminous street improvements project.
I'll second that.
Motion from Rick, second from Mike. Any other discussion? Hearing none, those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. Consent agenda, Mr. LaRue.
Mayor Bertram and city council members, the following items are on the consent agenda this evening. Hiring and termination report for Pebble Creek Golf Club and Public Works. Resolution 22-44 approving modifications to the city's personnel policy. These are consistent with the council's previous discussion and the personnel committee's recommendations. Resolution 22-45 approving compensation time reinstatement. Approving Sons of the American Legion August 18th fundraising event. and approving a partial pay request number 1 from R.L. Larson Excavating in the amount of $949,701.64. This covers the cost of product that has been delivered on site. The city's received evidence that they have paid their contractor for this, and we also have evidence of that they will insure the product until it's in the ground. So staff recommends paying that pay request. And I will stand for any questions.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second it.
Motion from Rick, second from Mike. Any other discussion? Hearing none, those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, carried. Payment of the bills.
Make a motion to pay the bills?
I'll second.
Motion from Robin, second from Becky. Any discussion? Hearing none, those in favor can state aye.
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 Opposed, carried. Anniversary announcements for the month of July. We have several. Our finance director, Mark Ebensteiner, is celebrating his first anniversary with us. Community Development Director, Jacob Sanders, is celebrating 3 years with us. Police Officer Mike Gordon is celebrating his first year with us, as well as Police Officer Preston Voigt. They're both celebrating their first year. Roger Bellinger, he's the mechanic over at Public Works, and he's celebrating 7 years already. That, I know, right? Time goes by
How time
so
goes by when
fast.
you're having fun.
Yeah. Chad Clausen, maintenance worker over at Public Works, is celebrating 4 years. Ryan Peskamp is celebrating 3 years. He's also at Public Works. And then Corey Butin, he is in sewer, wastewater operator. He's celebrating 4 years already. And Jeremy Halverson is celebrating his 25th with us. He's over at wastewater. So congratulations to those individuals. Thank you for your service. Does council have anything else for the betterment of Becker? If not, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion from Rick, second from Robin. Those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. We are adjourned at 5:17.